Okay, fine. So, good morning. So, what we are going to do is actually, in the last class, we were looking at the K epsilon turbulence model. Okay, so K epsilon turbulence model. So, today we'll try to look into one more turbulence model which we use it regularly. That is K omega turbulence model. Okay, the second one it is K omega turbulence model. Now, when you look at the K omega turbulence model, here also we have that equation K as well as omega, just like K and epsilon. Okay, so let me write that K omega turbulence model. Turbulence model. Okay, fine. Now, for the equation for the K, okay, equation for the for K. Okay, it's almost very similar to what you have studied in the K omega model, K epsilon model, but there is little change. So it is dou K by dou T plus U of J into dou K by dou Xj, then tau of Ij. So tau is the shear stress. So tau is the shear stress here, dou Ui by dou Xj. So I represents in the x direction, J represents in the y direction. Minus, we have a constant which is called as a beta star, okay, which has a value of 0.09, and maybe in your whenever you are trying to run a CFD model, we try to vary this number beta 0.09, 0.085, 0.075, and other side actually. So this constant is varied actually, but it has been found to be 0.09 beta star into k omega plus dou by dou x j into, so we have gamma, that is your nu is, that is your kinematic viscosity, plus sigma star. Sigma star actually it has a value of, so sigma star is also one of the constant. So it has a value of 0.5, okay, into your nu t, that is for a turbulent, dou k by dou xj. So this will be your equation, okay. Then for the equation for the omega, equation for omega. So equation for omega is given by tau omega by dou t plus u of j dou omega by dou xj is equal to, we have one more constant which is called as an alpha, okay, alpha into omega by k into tau of ij into dou u I by dou xj minus, we have one more constant which is beta, which is actually it's a ratio actually. So it has a value of 3 by 40. They tell. So they give a value of 3 by 40. So which is, so very small. So around 0.075. So it has a value of 0.075, and beta star is 0.09, 0.09 actually. So beta omega square plus dou by dou xj into your nu plus sigma into dou t, okay, into dou omega by dou xt. So this is your equation for k and equation for omega. So the constants beta value, so beta star is given by 0.09. So this is the value, and this value should not be modified when you are using the CFD model. If you want to tweak and see if I try to tweak in this value, your results will be, results also is going to change. Okay, then beta is 0.075 or 3 by 40, okay, or 0.075. Then your sigma as well as your sigma star, so it has a value of half or 0.5. Then your beta star into k omega. Okay, beta star into k omega. So then we have alpha. So this constant alpha is equal to 0.025. Okay, so then omega is the k omega model. Omega is one more constant. So k is one particular equation and omega is one equation. So both the equations has to be solved to obtain any kind, to discuss or to get any kind of turbulence values in using your k omega model. Okay. Okay. Then we'll try to look into one equation model. So that is called as eddy viscosity model. That is called as eddy viscosity model. One equation model. Eddy viscosity one equation model. One equation model. Okay. So here we have a single equation. So where it's given by minus rho into u dash v dash bar is equal to rho into L square into mod of du bar by dy into du bar by dy. Okay, this is one equation. Then minus rho u dash v dash bar is equal, this is for a turbulent thing, rho into nu t into dou u bar by dou y. And this particular thing is valued for Re, that is Reynolds number, greater than 500 for any kind of a flow. Okay. Now, so if I consider NC, say for example, what it is actually, so I do have some kind of a flat plate or something, and I do have the boundary layer. So this is my boundary layer. So this is my X critical. Say for example, X critical means this is where my transition is going to happen. Okay. So the corresponding to that, so I may be having your delta critical. Okay, I may be having delta critical. So usually this is also called as Y critical or YC, Y critical or YC. So what is that actually? That is the distance which is in the critical. That is the change actually what's going to happen. Now you have an option. See, x is equal to 0. That is x naught to your x critical. Then beyond that it is simply a delta. So this is the boundary layer is growing. This is your the Y critical or at the critical where the transition takes place. So this is your turbulent thing, and this is your laminar thing. Okay. For all those things actually, so here if you look at it, your gamma T or what we call it, this is your eddy viscosity. This is your eddy viscosity for the turbulence. Then your small l is the mixing length, what we have considered in your Prandtl mixing length. It is the same with the mixing length. So both has some values. Okay. So L is equal to 0.41. So as per the your Von Karman and all, we'll stick on to that value. So L is equal to 0.4 y or whatever it may be. This is for distance from y ranging between y naught and y critical. So this is y0 means it is on the wall, and y critical is at this particular point. It is your delta critical or y critical. Then it gets reduced to a particular value 0.075 of your delta. Okay. So this is between your y value between y critical and your the boundary layer delta. Okay, this is the value of L. So L will be taken based on this particular thing. Then your gamma T, so or your nu T, what we call, see the eddy viscosity is given by this equation. L square into du bar by dy, it's a mod actually. This once again from y naught, y varying between y naught and y critical. Then it has a value 0.0168, okay, into, so integration between your, based on your x value, this is your u critical minus your u average into dy. Okay, I'm going to calculate this particular based on this equation. So I'm going to use this equation to calculate that. So this is for your y between your y critical and your boundary layer delta. Okay, so this is your one equation, eddy viscosity model, how we are going to use the equation. So we have looked into the commonly used turbulence model, where one is one equation model, the K epsilon model, and K omega model. Okay. So now we'll try to look into, there is one law, so which based upon which actually you all might be knowing something called as y plus. Okay, y plus is a very critical in your CFD calculations. So that is called as law of Wahl. Law of Wahl. So based on this, you are going to calculate your y plus. Okay, what it is actually. Suppose I do have a flat plate or something, maybe any surface. Let me take it as any surface. So on this, so there is a boundary layer. Okay, there is a boundary layer, and it's the flowing, the free stream velocity be some rho infinity, rho, or whatever it may be. So this is what we have actually. Now there is some critical called as your wall shear stress. Why is it so important? Because the fluid, this particular thing, the fluid which is attaching to the surface, this particular surface, your u will be 0, and slowly, as we know that your velocity profile will go something like this. That means they are slowly increasing. So as in this direction, your u will increase. Now, if I want to calculate any kind of property values in the turbulent region, so if I try to look into any kind of a mesh, okay, if I try to look into any kind of a mesh, say for example, this is a surface, I have a surface like this, and I want to, because it's a approximate or a numerical thing, so what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to have the mesh something like this. This is how I'm going to have the mesh. Whether this mesh is sufficient, whether this mesh is sufficient, this is how I'm going to have the grid. Okay, this is how I'm going to have the grid, and I'll be having the grid in the y direction also. Okay, this is how I'll be having the mesh. This is a grid. Okay, this is a grid I'm going to create it. Now, whether I want to create a fine mesh here, see what I'm going to do, I will create the one more mesh here. So this is the fine mesh what I'm going to create. Okay, so let me call this as, this is a fine mesh, this may be a coarse mesh. Now why you want it to be this fine near the wall? Because I need to study the effect of this wall shear. Okay, I need to study the effect of this wall shear on your velocity u. So that's why it is called as wall shear stress. Okay, it becomes wall shear stress. Now whenever I want to study the effect of this wall shear stress for a turbulent flow, my mesh, what should be my first layer of your mesh, or what should be my grid, the first layer, and that is called as y plus. Okay, and this y plus is given by this equation, that is rho into u star into that y divided by your kinematic viscosity. Okay, this is non-dimensional, they call it as non-dimensional, and your grid, maybe what we call it as, for a turbulent flow condition, the grid condition can be easily evaluated based on this particular y plus. and your U star is given by this is the ratio of your wall shear stress per unit density. Okay, so this is your wall shear stress, and this is completely affected by your surface. If your surface is smooth, your wall shear stress will be different. If your surface is very rough, your wall shear stress will be different. Okay. Now, most of us, we try to do some CFD studies actually. So there is a two parameters, two things actually. How your y plus should be. See, two things you have to remember. Y plus less than 30 and y plus greater than 30. So based upon this particular thing, I am going to choose my turbulence model. Turbulence model. So even y plus is equal to 5. See, preferably this y plus should be as low as possible to predict your turbulent values properly. But sometimes this y plus value will be more than 30, 20, 30 and all. So we have a condition where this y plus is 20, 30, 40, 50. So even at that time we should be able to do it. So what we will try to depend on Q omega, SST model or a realized, renormalized RNG model and all. See, there are certain models which takes care of this particular turbulent flow calculations even though I may be having a y plus value more than 30. So preferably this y plus value should be maybe 1 or maybe 0.5 and all. So this should be as low as possible. A ballpark number is around maybe less than 10. Around 10, if you're able to stick on to it, so I can use the your k omega or k epsilon turbulence model. If the y plus is slightly more than 10 or 15 and all, so then more than that I'll go with your what is called as your k omega model. Stick on to k omega model and we'll try to do that. That clear? So we have one more law. So this is about the law of wall, which is called as y plus. Based upon this, your y plus is calculated. So we have one more law, what is called as velocity defect law. Velocity defect law. Okay. What is this velocity defect law? See, it tells that if I take the defect velocity, what is it actually? The defect velocity we are going to define. So defect velocity. This is a difference between your the free stream velocity and your local velocity. So the difference between your free stream velocity and your local velocity is called as defect velocity. Now I am going to this velocity defect law will try to build a relationship. What is between your that's defect velocity and the friction, what we call it as a frictional flow or frictional velocity, which is u tau or whatever it may be. Okay, that means your tau w, shear stress tau w. So defect velocity. So what does it tell actually? This velocity defect law tells that your defect velocity, that is u infinity minus u, is proportional. That means whatever the changes are happening is proportional to the frictional velocity. Okay, frictional velocity, I can call it as u tau or whatever it may be. Okay, so it is as a function of okay, a profile given by function of the profile given by your neta. What is neta? We already know that neta is nothing but y by delta. Neta is equal to y by delta. So this is what. So trying to build a relationship between your the difference in the local velocity and your free stream velocity with respect to your frictional velocity, and trying to build a relationship with respect to your y by delta. or boundary layer. Okay, so you see, I think some of the books they call it as U tau, or some books they call it as U star. You put that U star is the better one, U star. So mathematically, okay, mathematically it can be expressed as, okay, mathematically it is expressed as U infinity minus U by U star, okay, is a function, okay, is a function of your neta, or is a function of your y by delta. So that's the meaning of it actually, where your neta is equal to y by delta. So why is all these things happening? Because if I consider any, see, this is particular thing is because for any boundary layer, if you consider for any boundary layer which is turbulent, for any boundary layer which is turbulent, your velocity is a function of many things. What is actually, you have your density, you have your boundary layer, you have your y parameter, you have your wall shear stress. So lot many things are there. So these are the parameters which we need to consider. And your u velocity, I'm trying to build a relationship between its this particular, so your y and delta and your free stream velocity with respect to the local velocity. So that kind of relationship, whatever we are trying to build, no, that is called as velocity defect law. And this is very, very important when we are dealing with the surfaces which has friction. Okay, so turbulent is mainly created by this kind of a friction. So your turbulent flow, if I have a very, very smooth, actually very, very smooth surface, then your turbulent, that is the creation of your eddies or something will get reduced. Even though if I have the very, very so one parameter is the friction, one parameter is the surface, and other parameter is the maybe the speed with which the fluid is flowing. Sometimes the fluid itself is just sufficient to move your maybe or create some kind of a separation zone at the maybe at the tag end, or the maybe at the, if I consider the spear or some kind of a flat plate or aerofoil, towards the trailing edges or trailing ends we call. So toward those trailing ends, actually what will happen, there is a point where this particular thing will start giving the rise to what is called a separation, which maybe we call it as an adverse pressure gradient. If it's a favorable pressure gradient, so that's fine. But if there's an adverse pressure gradient, this adverse pressure gradient will lead to formation of the separations. So those things, if you want to study and all, so this velocity defect law is very, very important. Okay, so if I want to study with respect to what y plus is required to calculate my properties with respect to the wall and all, your what we call it as the law of wall actually. So that's important, law of wall. Then if I want to study this particular, how the separation takes place with respect to frictional effects, all those things, so this velocity defect law is important. Okay. Next we have one more, the last topic, that's called as Prandtl's universal velocity distribution. Prandtl Prandtl's universal velocity distribution. Velocity distribution. Some equations. So velocity distribution equations. Okay, we have this equation. See, maybe when I was discussing on the Prandtl's mixing length theory, so already we have this equation where tau is given by rho L square into du by dy whole square, where L is the mixing length. L is the mixing length, which already we have considered. And as per your Kolmogorov or your von Karman thing, so L was found to be some 0.0 0.41 of y. So that is nothing but your k is equal to 0.041, which is called as von Karman as given. It's also called as von Karman constant, which is also called as von Karman constant. Now, so if I consider any kind of a plate or your pipe and all, so what will happen to your y? So y is always, see, if I consider, maybe let me consider a pipe itself. Okay, if I consider a pipe, so this is my surface, this is one surface, okay, this is the outer surface, this is my outer surface, the fluid is flowing. The fluid is flowing with some u infinity, whatever the velocity. Now, this is my x direction, this is my y direction. So I can take it from the center. Now, what we try to do here actually, already we know that, see, if I try to substitute for L in this particular equation, what will happen? If I try to substitute for it, your tau will be equal to rho into ky whole square into du by dy whole square. Okay, what is your du by dy? See, du by dy is nothing but your tau. See, based on your fixed, maybe your shear stress. Okay, so du by dy is given by this equation. Du by dy is equal to, so du by dy is equal to, it's actually your wall shear stress divided by your rho into L square or ky square. Okay, or if I try to take my ky outside, so this will be only a function of your tau, that is wall shear stress divided by your rho. So this is the equation what you will be given. So this du by dy is given by this equation, where k is nothing but von Karman constant and y is the distance. So now if I consider any of the surface, see, if I consider this surface, okay, if I consider any of the surface, so for this y is very close to the surface, your Prandtl assume that tau also can be a constant. Okay, that means on the surface, or let me call it as, this is what your Prandtl's universal velocity distribution speaks of. What really happens to the points which are very, so to the things which are very close to the surface. That means your y values are very, very small. Okay, for that condition, what will happen? Let me write that. For small delta values or small values of y which are close to the, which are close to the surface, which are close to the surface. So what the Prandtl assumed actually, Prandtl assumed your tau value to be constant. That is, tau is not varying that much on the surface, but this tau will vary as we move away from the surface. So that's the meaning of it. So what will happen? So what it took actually, some tau is equal to some tau naught or something, it's a constant. So what happened actually, your tau wall or something, if you try to stop, simply will leave it tau only, because it's a wall shear stress, that's with respect to wall. So tau is equal to tau naught, or I can write your du by dy is equal to 1 by ky into square root of, wherever you have my tau, I will write it as tau naught, which is a constant, by rho. So if I try to call this as equation number 1, if I call this as equation number 2, so let me call this as equation number 3. Okay. Okay, now what is the dimension it has? See, your tau naught becomes something like, on the length scale, so it's a shear velocity. It's a shear velocity. Okay. So if I try to look at this particular thing, this is nothing but your shear velocity. It has a dimension of, what is the velocity has a dimension of? With a dimension of meters per second, that is L by T. Okay, so whatever the tau naught by L is nothing but your shear velocity, and this is what is called as your U star or U tau or whatever it may be. Okay, it's U tar or U tau. So that's what your, so that's where I will be able to calculate your shear component. So therefore, what will happen to your, therefore, your du by dy, I can write it as, therefore, your du by dy, I can write it as, okay, 1 by ky into u star. Square root of tau naught by rho is nothing but your shear velocity or your shear wall shear velocity, that is u tau or u star. I am calling that as u star. So now what I am going to do, I am going to variable. So do some kind of a variables. I am going to separate. So what will happen? Your du will be on one side. Okay, I can call it as du is equal to, or your du is equal to u star by k into dy by y. Okay, so let me call this as equation number 4, and let me do an integration. Okay, so the integration of the above equation, integration of the above equation. So what is it going to do? So integration, I am going to get it as u, this will be u star by k as it is. So integration of 1 upon y is log of y plus some constant c. Okay, some constant c. So let me call this as equation number 5. Okay. Now we'll go to this pipe 4. So actually, so now as I told, it's y. See, what is it actually? This is nothing but your radius. Okay, that is nothing but your radius. Say for example, if I take from y is at this particular center for a pipe flow, y is equal to 0 here, that is r is equal to 0, y is equal to, which is a function of r actually, y the direction. So y is equal to 0, or r is equal to 0, or y is equal to r here. So y is equal to r radius. So what will happen? So the velocity will be varying from u is equal to this particular thing, u is equal to u max. See, from this particular point, is it? Okay. I can go from, see, this particular point. So from, sorry, I'm going in this direction. So what, y is equal to 0 here, here y is equal to r. So what will happen? Your velocity will be maximum at the center. Here I am going to get my u is equal to, this is for a pipe flow. Maybe for a flat plate and all, I can go from y is equal to 0 to your free stream. Okay, where you have your u will be equal to u infinity. For a pipe flow, at the center, my velocity will be maximum. At y is equal to r or something like that. If I take this particular thing, so the radius y is equal to 0 to 3. Okay, so let me write for that. So for a pipe flow, for a pipe at y is equal to r, okay, your u will be equal to the maximum velocity. Or I can write this equation, u max is equal to u star by k into, wherever y is there, I'll put it as r, ln of r plus constant. So what is your constant actually? Okay, or I can write your c is equal to u max minus u star by k into ln of r. So I am going to substitute this c in equation 5. Okay, substitute. So just I am trying to, for that condition, I am trying to get the value of c. So substitute the value of c in equation 5 to get what I am going to get. Actually, it will be u. So u will be equal to u star by k into ln of y plus u max minus u star into u star by k into ln of r. Or I can write, see now, u star by k into ln of y minus u star by k ln of r, I can write it as u star by k into ln of y by r. Okay. So this equation I can write it as u is equal to u max plus u star by k into ln of y by r. Okay. So this is based on natural log. Okay. These are based on your natural log. Now what is the value of k? See, we know that k is nothing but your one Karman constant, which is 0.041. So if you take the ratio of 0.041, so 1 upon 0.041, it becomes 2.5 change. Okay. So therefore, your u is equal to u max plus 2.5 times of u star into ln of y by r. So let me call this as equation number. If I call this as 6, so let me call this as equation number 7. This is after substituting the value of k. So 1 upon 0.04, if you put, I am going to get, okay, I am going to get 2.5. Sorry, it is not 2.5, it is 25. 0.041, no? Yeah, 0.041. Okay, 1 upon 0.041 is 25, not 2.5. Is 25. 25 point some change. Yeah, it is 24 point some change, you will get it. So we can put it as around 25. Okay, so the equation, this equation 7 is called as Prandtl's. See, what is it actually? I am trying to get this velocity relationship. I am trying to get the velocity relationship. So let me write that. So equation 7 is called as Prandtl's universal velocity distribution. Universal velocity distribution equation for turbulent flow. Equation for turbulent flow only in pipes, because I have considered for the pipe turbulent flow in pipes. Okay, so this equation, say, I can apply it for both smooth pipes as well as the rough pipes. This equation can be used for both types of pipes, smooth as well as the rough pipes. Okay, so this also called as velocity defect. Okay, so u max, u r, I can write this particular equation, I can write it as, so u minus u max, or u max minus u will be equal to your 25 u star into ln of u y minus y bar. Okay, or if I try to divide this particular, if I try to convert this particular natural log with respect to base 10 also you can write. With respect to base 10 also you can write. So in that case, what I need to do? So you can convert this natural log to base 10 also. If you want, you can write with this particular thing with respect to y by r or r by y. So what will happen, this equation, if I try to write it, if I try to write u max minus u, okay, is equal to u star, okay, u star ln of r by y, or I can write u max minus u by u star is equal to ln of r by y. So this equation I can do a little bit of modification. What is this actually? this particular thing, if you look at it, if you go back and see your, so we have defined velocity defect law. Yes. If you go back and see, I am trying to get this kind of an equation. So this shows the relation. See, mathematically it shows the relation with respect to y by delta. So I am trying to get a similar kind of. This is based on velocity defect law. Defect law. So trying to build it only for with respect to your pipe flow. So maybe